A few weeks ago, I came out here and replaced all the shocks on my trailer. I made a boring video about it. I think it's the last one I posted. It was supposed to be a really simple process. Come out here, remove a few bolts. Ended up, the bolts were seized into place. I had to get the torch out, heat them up. Then I had to order the shocks. And then while the shocks were coming in, they ended up taking the wheel seals off and the hubs off, and I replaced all the oil with grease. So I packed all the hubs with grease. Then I had to put them all back on, and then I realized I didn't pack enough grease, so then I had to take them all back off and then repack them again, fill the cavities up with grease. I was going to video all that, but it just turned into a big mess because when you start working with grease, it's everywhere. It got on my hands, it's on every rag, it's on my tools. And the last thing I wanted it on was on all my cameras and microphones. All right, so here's my leveling valve right here. This thing here is the arm that goes on the leveling valve. This here bracket right here is supposed to be an L bracket. Let me climb under here and I'll show you. Oh, the ground's all wet because it's been raining for all day yesterday. I didn't want to do this in the rain, but oh my God. Look at this. I need to spread these axles so I have room to get under here. But you see this shock right here? The bolt is gone out of it on the bottom, as well as the one up here in the front. And you know what I'm noticing right now? Look at this. On the other side over there. Look at that bolt right there. It's starting to walk out. Why are these bolts not staying in place? So now all this work that I did, I got to go back in here and redo it. And when this shock here came off, the problem with this one is it ended up breaking this here bracket. I can't even get under here to see. Yeah, the bracket is supposed to be welded. You can see the bracket goes right here, right behind here. That's the bracket. And so I got to take that bolt out, put a new bracket on there. Then when I try to take this leveling valve up here, oh, if I can get under here, I can't got no room. This bolt right here where the leveling valve, that arm goes on, I tried to take that bolt out and the thing snapped off on it. So I had to order this whole block. That thing was $120, so I got to replace this, reconnect it to the arm. I got to replace this shock because when it bent, I don't think this shock is any good. Because looking at it a couple of days ago, I'm not sure if I can turn it. Anyway, I'll have to take it back off. I gotta take it off. Let me try to spread these axles so I got some room to get under here. Now to spread these axles, you've got these two valves right here. This one here, when you turn it, that pulls these little tabs in. This one here, when you turn it, it locks the brakes on the rear axle so that they'll slide, and it raises the airbags all the way full. So now you can see the airbags are going up. It's way up in the air right there. Look how high this thing is raised up. It's raised up from down here on the wheel all the way up to there. But I've got to open it all the way so that that rear axle will lock and it'll slide. Wow, those things are really extended. See this thing here? It should go all the way in. This one here as well. it's not. I hate to climb back under here. One of these airbags is blowing my face. Oh God, I can't pull that lever. Everything has got to fight me every time I try to do something. Wow, this thing is really up in the air, buddy. Up in the air like crazy. I think that leveling valve might keep it. Yeah. Let me go try to crank up the truck and slide it back. I'm going to end up tearing up all the see, it's in now. By moving it a little bit, the pressure went in. The tires actually should be sliding. You see, that was all the way in right here. You come back to this back tab, and I can see that it's all the way in. Over here on this side, that one's all the way in. And the one in the rear is all the way in. But yet, the axle never really wants to slide easily, which is a pain. Especially when I'm on the road trying to pick up a load and I need to slide that wheel. This axle will slide from this position back to this position. See, I'm already tearing up the yard out here. I don't like tearing up my grass out here like this. But I can slide this thing. Nope. The only thing I'm doing is sliding my wheels out here, tearing up the grass. Bunch of bull crap. You know, I could probably just put some blocks under it with it raised up like that and get under there and fix it the way it is. I think I might just do it this way. Let me go get some blocks. All right, I've got it all blocked up here. I went and got my tractor and brought some blocks out. The weight of the trailer ain't came down yet. The airbags are released. They come down slowly. So now let's get back under here and see what I was talking about. Now that I've got some headroom. Yeah, now I can get under here. So, here's that block I was talking about. I got to replace this. I got to put some bolts in here, and it looks like it has bent. This bolt here looks like it is really bent. This is some bull crap right here now. Why is it bending this bushing and this shock? It's got to come down. The airbags has got to come down. But look at that bolt right there. It hasn't pulled it, it hasn't backed out, and now it's bent. This is bull crap. I gotta replace this bolt here. Give me a little L bracket, connect my leveling valve back up to this, up here. Let's check these bolts. There's the shock on the front one right there. No, so here's the bolts on the front. Maybe these shocks, that's why when the air suspension goes up, the only thing that really keeps it from overextending is maybe these shocks. But see this one here? This is the front shock. You can see that bolt's already out. And you can see that it's already, unless this trailer comes down significantly, I'm not going to be able to get the bolt in it. I've got to let the airbags on down further to line this hole up, because that shock is all the way extended, which tells me that it's overextending these shocks with the airbag, with the air suspension goes all the way up. That's why it's putting all the pressure and really bushing and destroying these bushings. Because right now, with those airbags raised all the way up, this thing here is holding all the pressure on that lower bushing and that upper bushing up here in the shock. Up here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm about to take this thing to a trailer shop that knows all about these leveling valves and how the suspension really works. All I can do is put the bolts back in it and try to fix that leveling valve back there. I just realized something. I'm not going to be able to put these shocks back on. My bushing blocks are gone. Right here. See that block right here? That's a big giant heavy duty spacer that keeps it away. I'm missing the spacer on this one over here. I mean, I can put the bolt in now. I then let the airbag down. But I got to put these spacers, I got to have that spacer in there. I ain't got a spacer. When the bolt fell off, the spacers fell off. So I've got to get those. And that'll probably take a week, because those are, ain't no parts house going to have those. So here's where I'm at. The two bolts I bought, I can put them back in, but I ain't got no spacer for the shock. The leveling valve that I bought yesterday, I got the wrong one. Mine does have a dump on it. So off to the side over here, there's another section that comes off over here. So the leveling valve is wrong. So I got to put that back in the box. Take this back. The shock I can't really put on because I ain't got the spacers. Why the bolts came off in the first place, I have no idea. Now the original, these are the same as the factory bolts, the same thickness, same threads, same length. The only difference between these and the factory is the factory bolts had about that much more thread, about a quarter more inch of threads. So when I put these bolts in, that's why I bought these little spacers here, so that when it goes in, this here still has plenty of thread into the bolt, but it spaces it out just a little bit so that it doesn't bottom out on the end of this little mark right here. And I put it on tight. Maybe I didn't put it on tight enough. I have no idea. All I know is it's costing me some downtime now, because I have a load that I'm supposed to pick up Monday, and now I got to contact the broker and say, hey, I'm at the house and I'm stuck in the water because I ain't got the parts. And you can see right here, this thing right here is that thing that goes onto the frame. Remember that thing that had the bolt in it? It goes down and turns, and then the bolt goes in over here. So I got to make one of these. This would be pretty easy to make. This ain't nothing major right here. So, but that's where I'm at. It's dead in the water for this whole weekend. And I would have got out here yesterday and done it yesterday, but yesterday was just pouring down, raining and raining. It was mud puddles. The yard was soaking wet. So that's where I'm at. I guess I'm trying to contact this broker now and let him know that I'm not going to be able to get his load Monday. I got to get my trailer fixed first. I'm going to go ahead and try to get that bracket, the bolt out that holds that bracket onto the frame. Let's see what I need here. So it's pretty simple. This is what broke with the leveling valve. It made the leveling valve come off into the first place. So this thing here went onto here like so. But you can see this thing here was dragging the ground. So this is the way it went, like that. But you can see up in here, this part right here is very dirty. So it was already cracked from here all the way down to here. So the only thing that really broke on it was this little small section right through here. That's the clean part. So more than half of it was already broke because I could see the corrosion and the dirt up in there, which is why it broke to begin with. So all I need to do is just get me a piece of metal about 3/4 of an inch thick, and however long that is, and just fold it and bend it, and drill me 2 holes in each end of it. There's a piece of angle line. That's about the right thickness. If I just cut it down and fold it, that right there should work. I'd like it to be a little thicker than that though. That'll probably work. Let me go see what I got, how thick that other one is. This here is an old bed frame, so it ain't nothing really, it ain't very sturdy. It's usually softer metal. Yeah, it's about the same thickness. I think it'll work. It should work. All right, this thing's probably hot. Well, that's a bunch of bull crap. So much for that trick. I didn't have any, I was looking for a piece of channel that was about the thickness of this. I ain't got a piece of channel, so I found this little boat hinge here. It's almost, I got it, it's got these little slots in the back. When you put this across it, it does go up a little bit. It'll be a little bit more narrow than what I want it to be. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this thing, see if I can't get it, something going here. Kind of annoying because I got a cutting torch, but I used it about a month ago when I was working on my shocks, And when I turned off the gas, somehow I left the oxygen gas on. And so I have no more oxygen in my bottle. Today's Saturday, I can't go fill it. So I'm stuck with these little cutting wheels. This is my last wheel, so once it burns out, I got to run to Lowe's and get another wheel. All right, now I got to drill a hole in it. That might not be thick enough. By the time I get that hole in there might not be no... Ow! That thing is sharp. Look at that crap. Got a sharp little edge on it right there. A razor sharp edge. Yeah, I don't think this bracket's going to work now. I just now noticed it ain't quite thick enough, and by the time I drill this big old hole through it, there's not going to be hardly any sidewall left. You know what? I got to order some other parts. I'm out here wasting my time with this thing. I think I'm just going to order what I need. I'm going to order the whole kit, the brackets and every damn thing. I'd rather just do it that way. This is just aggravating me. I mean, it ain't nothing but this comes with the, I already got this piece. It comes with the other part. I've already got these pieces right here. I'm just going to order the whole thing. Because it looks like I need some little bushings up in here as well. Those little bushings go in there. They help hold this thing and stationary it. So I'm just going to order the whole thing. It can't be no more than 20 bucks. 50 bucks tops. This leveling valve on off now. So that way I can just order the part off of it from Amazon. Maybe it'd be cheaper. Let's see what I can get under here. I'm going to need a pair of pliers or a wrench. Let me get a wrench. So the wrench is to put on the lines like this and push that in. You can pull these out right here. Pop that one out. So I got a red one, a yellow one, it's always, my shoulder hurts. I ain't got no room. Get my finger under there. The yellow one, and then the green one. Crap. Okay, that one goes to that section over there. Still had air in it. Now, let me get my socket over here. I need a little bit of an extension. Okay, there's 2 bolts out right there, and I can get it off. All right. Got that off. So I got a part number on here now. Should be on the back. I might end up having to take this here brake chamber back off again to fix this shock. It's going to be in the way. I'm going to try it without it. We'll see what happens.